Hey, Jay. Well, that was rude.
And we're back. We are working on some issues. We have a few items to address. We bolted the fenders onto the car again once we've decided to do the skimming and glazing. As you can see, it looks fantastic. We put the fenders back on the car. It seems maybe it's shrunk a little bit, or we've got some kind of less flex than we did before. Obviously, because we've added some filler and we've added some hardeners and we've added some chemicals, more chemicals, and all kinds of fun things to make it stiff and solid, which then didn't allow it to bend as well as it did before. So, we have solutions for that. For now, I have to go through my bins of parts and put the hood latches in, because now we're getting into the fine tuning of mounting the fenders. And the backs are fine. I think the backs are fine. We don't have any flex or any issue there. That driver's side is coming along nicely, but the hinges need to go on, so then we can put the hood exactly where it's going to be and mount the fenders exactly where they're going to go. And I think that is a solid plan as per Brandon's recommendation, because we should have did that in the first place. So now I need to find where I put all those parts, because I haven't even gone through them since we moved. So at the moment, Brando is he's put some guide coat on that front lip there, and we're going to start blocking that, or he's going to start blocking that. He's loving blocking.
Totally.
With the block rockin' beats. Yep. But look at this fender. I mean, this side's good. Look at that. Oh, it is so straight. It would put a certain community to shame. It is that straight. Okay, so I'm going to look for some parts. We'll put you on time lapse. You can watch Brandon work hard while I dig through some things. Let's go! We're back. Look at this right here. Beautiful. It's got a smiley face. It is so happy and thick. So, we put the sides on. I want to cry at the moment, but it's okay. Minor setback,
Minor setback.
right?
So
Let us in on what happened.
what happened? So I put the metal glaze on, which is our finishing putty, which makes everything smooth, fills in all the pinholes and all the fun stuff.
Mm.
The only thing I didn't do, it even crossed my mind. I didn't put the flares on the car before I did that. I just had them on the table and I skimmed them out. Doing that, the metal glaze shrinks a small bit. Like when I put the metal glaze on my pad, the edges over time, well, depending on like if it's a new pad that's not got any filler on it, the edges will kind of curl up, like separate from the actual sheet. So I'm like, what's going on with that? So when I put the metal glaze on the flares, and then we put the flares back onto the car, it's not exactly as it used to be. We're learning it as we go.
We're not pointing. We're not pointing any blame or anything. So yeah, basically this was on the table. Now that they also don't sit on the table very nicely.
They don't. No.
And they were kind of like it's very thin in the middle, like where it goes over the tire. Oh my God, dinner's ready.
Oh.
Yes. So this is very thin right here. Well, not very thin, but I mean it's thinner than the rest.
The surface area is thinner than.
Correct.
Like yeah, it's thick here, it gets thin here, and it gets thick back over here.
Yeah, so there was a little bit of flex here. And as we keep putting more hardening putty on it, it gets harder and harder. However, once it was kind of like this on the table, the glaze went on, it dried, shrunk up.
Held it how it's sitting on the table.
Right, we hadn't put this on the car in weeks.
Which we should have. But me learning and also we're building a wide body from scratch. You learn these things.
Absolutely, we're all learning
So
here.
when we do the rears, we're gonna put them on the car, then metal glaze them out. So as we were doing before, we should have done.
Absolutely. So we noticed the flare on the bottom was sticking out way too much. Like,
yeah, there was a lot of tension when you push this in because this is where it has to sit.
yep.
And this was kicked out weird. This all sits fine. This is like aired out. I'm not worried about anything like that. You still have to push this corner in, which will kind of also rotate it a bit.
Perfect.
But we have the same issue on that side, which is not a big deal. We know how we're going to do that. But this kicked out too far, as Jay said. So I bring it to problem solving mode. And I'm like, this is what I'm going to do. I put a tape line on the body line here. I cut right on the body line. And told him what I'm going to do is keep the corners or a thin part. And I'm just going to rotate it in. So as you can see now, when I hold this here, the top like doesn't even move. Oop, cracked it, but that's fine.
So anyways, we're going to reattach this now with fiberglass.
So,
Keep the body, but the body line's there still, so that's where it's supposed to sit.
Yep. I'd like to hold this in there somehow, back to where it was. So it sits like that. And then, yeah, we'll fiberglass from the inside.
That's perfect. Now it sits perfectly on the tire
Yep.
and on
there'll be no
the
tension
front
on the
fender.
sideboard.
Yeah.
And
So,
then this can come up and it can sit how we want.
woo-wee.
We can fix this gap.
Of course, we have some trimming and some massaging to do, but
Yeah.
that seems to be the best option at this point.
That's what it was
Otherwise,
before. This is what it's going to be like after. So we're going to fill that gap. The body line is still straight. It's exactly where it's supposed to be. We're just pulling it in, using fiberglass to fix that, make it one piece again, and fix our little flare out, which will make it much easier and no stress on the part when we mount it, which we don't want. Small setback, big, not a big deal.
short-term pain, long-term gain.
With doing something like this, these are the things you have to kind of deal with and figure out.
How was
Especially when
cutting?
you're
How was
learning.
cutting that with the Dremel?
That was great.
You think you were going to use the Dremel to cut the door?
I think so, yeah.
You think so?
Just took my time.
Yeah, because we'll put a tape line on it and
Yep.
figure it out. Yeah, I mean, looks great. Now we're going to get to patching.
Yep, again.
Making huge progress. We have glazed and things. We went over the crack in the front, yeah. Or the cutting of the front fenders. We have mounted fully one rear fender, completely. I'll get in a little closer and show you some of the hardware. We found some original brackets in the box of bin, or the bin of parts I've got. We've connected it to the rear subframe, to the bottom of the fender, created a bracket, basically epoxied that to that and a bunch of other things, and added another bracket down here as per Brandon's recommendations. So I'm the bracket guy, apparently. So, you know, we stick to what we're good at. I know my limitations. I make things. And you make things nice.
I can overcomplicate bracketry. Easy.
And he overcomplicates bracketry. But that's, you know what, it's worth it. It's solid. Those people, when we do takeovers in the middle of the city, they're not going to have a chance. I'm going to wipe them all out. And there's not going to be a scratch on this car. When I do spins. When I do Corvette things and hit things, there won't be a scratch. We have squeaky fitment. We are quite happy with the squeaky fitment. Is it a back in park?
No.
No. Let's check it out. We have push.
What?
Look at this. It makes him smile every time.
It's quite nice.
It is quite nice. Look at that.
That's a lot of measuring, sanding, adjusting.
And onto the front, we're going to pull this piece out. It's got a thing to it. And we're going to line this up to this line, have it out, and this is going to be a little wider. We're going to pull it out just a little bit. We did have it in previously. We don't like that. We're going to do this instead. And I think that is going to be make it look wider, because that's what we need, is for it to look wider. And man, it's just coming right along. The wing will get some fiberglass very soon. I need to find another bracket for the other side to connect. There's a bar basically that comes out to here onto a bracket, bolted onto the thing. It's in. What else? And we're checking things off the list. Can you tell me when driven is?
August 26th.
No, I know what day it is. How many days? The last time we checked, it was 79 days.
It's probably 70 days.
It's been 9 days since the last.
No, I don't think so.
I was going to say, we're running out of time, Brandon.
Don't gotta remind me, man.
Right now. I'm pulling out some parts also. If you remember from very early on in the build, you'll see these are the windshield trims that go around that hold the seals in. These are quite rotten. So, well, there's surface rust on them. And these are also supposed to be glued to the car. So there's some mending to do. I hope this stuff works out. I can't find any of these online anywhere new. Otherwise, I would buy them. So if you do have some of these, please let me know. They are the pillar trims that hold the seals on around the windshield. I have the top piece. I bought brand new from Corvette Central. The other one, I can't find them anywhere. There's two. One that bolts onto the car, and then there's the trim piece, the teeny tiny one, like this, that goes up and around. I can't find them. And I have to try and refurbish these ones because I don't have new ones. Making some progress in here, trying to clean up. Parts are going back up. We're looking for more parts, etc., etc. Over to the list here, we have the driver's door has been completed. We also have the rear fender has been completed. We've got some glaze on the side skirts. This stuff is coming down the list. Days since last injury. Did you find out the date? No. We're not doing math. It's time to go home. Eh?
It's been a long day.
It's been a long day. Brandon is tuckered out, the poor guy.
First off, I have forgotten how to turn this camera around. Clicking buttons. I'm pulling a U today. Okay, so here goes. Let's flip this boy around. Wait, 3 clicks. I just figured it out. 3 clicks. Whoop! Okay, here we are. This is what we got going on. Jay's not here. I've taken over the place. I've bought this. I have a mortgage now. He doesn't know, but it's mine. This is the car. I started it last night. Nah, I'm joking. Okay, here we're at. Jay's gone with the wife. He is going to see Nickelback. And here I am tonight working. And what I've done, I've just got this flare about 80%. So the top's skimmed out in our final finishing glaze in the bottom section as well. And the front, I just did a bit more fiberglass fill just to fix some lower spots that I wasn't happy about. I wanted to fill up with a bit more meat. So I'll block that next time I come by. And then I'm going to put the metal glaze on. And that should be nice and smooth and straight. And this should be done. And it's fiberglassed out on the corners. So it's looking very nice. We just have to do the section here to fill that in. And then we're going to do a special something with that. That'll be a surprise. But the sides of the wing are fiberglassed out and ready for some body work and to get this one done. But the car's looking great. So we ain't looking half bad. We're doing pretty good. So weird doing this. I understand what Jay means when he's in front of the camera, but I've been in front of the camera so many times. So we're switching the tables. Not sure what else to say. Jay closes these off. This is his YouTube channel. I'm just here to help build the car. That's it. Yeah, I'm going to try not to say anything stupid because Jay edits this and he's not going to know what's on the camera until he finds this. I'm not going to say anything unless I just got a buzz from my pocket being like, "Are you recording yourself?" Nope. That'd be funny though. Yeah. I'm not gonna keep talking. See ya.
As you've seen, the wing has been sanded. We've been making some big progress here. The pieces are on. I don't know if I did an update, but let me do an update. Okay, side skirts on. We've got the door on. The hinges worked out great. The latch is in. I refurbished that, so it's now working well. The rear fender's on. I've got the rear mount on, so this is quite solid. So there's a plate in there sandwiched with a bar that goes through. You've seen me weld that piece. It was actually rotten. So we fixed that. This is all good. We've got new air filtration. Thank you very much. And this is also in great shape. So the car is aired out at the moment. And right now we're working on the wing. We have the queen herself of resin. Emily is back, and she has offered to help carbon fiber the wing. So what we're going to do is do some carbon fiber skinning. I know you've probably seen this everywhere online, and it basically is a perfect rendition of a carbon fiber part that has been molded. But as you've seen, we've made this wing out of the old wing, foam, tape, fiberglass resin, and fiberglass mats. And now we're going to skin it with carbon fiber flakes. So what that is going to do is create a really cool effect with the carbon fiber chopped, and yeah, it's going to look amazing. So we're trying our hand at it. Emily does quite the job with resin as it is. She makes coasters and signs that say love on them and whatnot, because she's very sweet. So I don't know if this is a good rendition. However, she made me this R at some point before we moved here. And I don't know if you can see the carbon fiber effect. Oh, you can maybe a little bit. That is what the wing is going to look like, or something similar to it. So that's what we're aiming for. That's what we're doing today. I still have some more mounts to make here at the front. However, I do have a plan in place, and I'm going to make some out of this circle tubing right here. So I'm going to make the lengths I need. Going to crimp down the ends, kind of like a lug for a wire. Drill a hole through, and that is going to be the support for this front bumper. So that's going to be good. We're going to get the front cut complete, and then that will be mounted permanently. Basically, that's it. There's not much more to mount. There's only the back of these fenders down over here that need to be cut along the body line. So that would be the next major piece. So I'm pretty sure I can finish these up today at the front here and get this front lip mounted to the front like pieces of the fender, finish the cut off there, and then the back is what's left. So that's going to be challenging because, you know, I wanted to have the fender attached to the hood and lift up with the hood, but it just is so big and so heavy, it doesn't stay up on its own. So it also doesn't clear the side because it curves underneath. So anyway, that's it. We're going to get going and start laying some resin. So let me turn you around. As you can see, we've prepared this new wing. It looks great on the car, by the way. It's kind of rough in some areas, but we got most of the fiberglass kind of, you know, smoothed out. There isn't any big bumps or lumps, and basically what we're going to do now is coat this in resin, or clear resin, which we've got over there, and then let it sit for what, half hour, 45 minutes maybe? And then we're going to start laying on the flakes. So the flakes, man, it's going to look so good. Also some new merch Emily's rocking. Hopefully she doesn't ruin it doing this job. But yeah, we're making some shirts, trying out some designs. I'm hoping to make some for some people who want them, but really they're not cheap to make, so it's kind of a pain to not be able to give them away, you know. So you're mixing up what, 6 ounces? Yeah. We got 6 ounces of resin. Bring you over here. So here's the carbon fiber chop, the chopped fiber. Look at that. Oh, it's so nice. In hindsight, I should have got bigger squares, only because it looks kind of cool, but I actually really like these too. It's going to be nice and dense. I also have this chopped green fiberglass, and the plan was to mix this with that, but it didn't work out all that well. It doesn't look all that great either. Maybe one day I'll do a chopped fiberglass part, but I don't know, we'll see. How you doing? Good. You ready? We just pour resin all over the car. Look at that. Don't worry about the drips. Just put her down in the plastic. Time is of the essence. Oh, you have some drippies. Oh, you're much better at smoothing it out than I am. Oh, it's gonna look so good shiny, this car. My goodness. Look at that view. She has her arms like that, she means business. And success! Look at this. Look at this. She made this. She made this.
What did I do?
Oh, there she is. She made this. Look at that. Looks great. How do you feel?
Excellent.
Excellent. Nice thumb, by the way. Looks great. Anything to report?
I think we just need to wait and find out. There might be a few deviations that we'll have to sort, but overall, it's pretty good.
Overall.
Welcome back! Or maybe he already said that. I don't know. Okay, let's take a peek at what's happening. We've got this drying. We're going to do our best not to touch it, even though we want to touch it. I feel like there's a "that's what she said" somewhere, but we're going to move forward. We have, in case some of you don't know me, I'm Emily, the most epic of narrators, who knows exactly what's going on. Here's the car. Some parts are new, some parts are original. But there's an epic license plate. Things are bolted on. Oh. And look amazing, is basically the summary that I have. The interior will be just as amazing. And over here we have the man, the myth, the legend. Wait, does that make sense?
Yeah, I think it's a myth. How's it going?
Good. What are you doing? What are you working on? You have this, hold on, I'll get it. Grinder.
Yep. Not the website that people think I'm on. Not the same thing.
No.
Okay, so what I'm making here is some brackets or some bars to hold up the new pieces we're putting on. So the OEM rear bumper used to have a bar like similar to this, as you remember, but it was rotten. So I had to tack weld to put it back together. so I could use it. Now they're not really structural, so it's just to hold things on, but I like the idea or the simplicity of it. So basically they're squished or flattened, and then I'm going to put a hole through here, and the nut and bolt can go, and the nut and bolt can go here. It's pretty strong. So this is going to hold up the front lip. And basically on the front bumper, where the old Fender wells used to mount to, since they're gone, there's bolt holes set up for grabs. And yeah, once I get this bolted on, I'll show you what it looks like. But
Did you like mock this up with a big straw first?
big straw? No, more like a string and tape measure. Yeah, tape measure mostly. So I need a 12-inch piece, which I think this is 12 inches. Right on the nose, 12.
Mm-hmm.
So I made it like 15 inches. It's like 1.25 inches and about 1.5 inches on this side. So to allow for squish. So I have to trim this. I'm going to make it nice and round because it looks ugly. But I might tack weld this shut, and then once I cut it, then we'll tack weld it shut, and then it'll be sealed up, and I can sand it, paint it, and this will be a nice little addition to the front bumper. So that'll hold the lip up, and then once that's done, then I can do other things. But I can also use this to add things onto. I can tack weld something onto here, an extra bracket, things like that.
I have a question.
You have a question?
Question for you.
What's the question?
How do you how do you tell, oh look, I can't hold it straight. How do you tell the sex of an ant?
The sex of an ant?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's no uncles?
No. So you put them in water, and the girl ants, they sink. And boy ants. Because they're buoyant. They're buoyant.
So they float because they're buoyant.
They're buoyant.
That's a good one.
Uh-huh.
One of the better ones.
Oh. Okay.
Only because you couldn't get it out.
Time to work. Okay, so we did a few more things, including the mirrors. We are also decided to do the mirrors in carbon fiber. So those are now curing as a first layer. We also have over here the wing, which someone has been advised not to touch. We have to wait until everything is thoroughly dried so that it doesn't get messed with. So that's going to be the episode for today. Look at me doing the outro. For next time, tell me, what is a frog's favorite restaurant?
They're like, hey, so yeah, lost progress. We'll see you on the next one. Next one, we're gonna.
I am recording right now.
Yes.
Okay.
So you're like, hey, on the next one, we're gonna.
So, and then, so I get this from you saying the so before I start sentences now.
Hey.
I will give you the answer in the next episode, or you're more than welcome to, in the comments box below, tell me what you think the answer is. Next time we'll be doing more layers on the wing and the mirrors back there, other car things that don't involve resin, so I don't know too much about. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe because we have a lot more coming and we can't wait to hear from you. Have a good one.